Coming up on the dime, after Mark Cuban publicly declares his hatred for the Spurs, San Antonio tries to let their play do the talking in Big D. Meanwhile, Orlando would find out if Charlotte had any magic left in the tank in Game 2 of their series, next on the Daily Dime.
No, I mean, I hate Spurs.
I think we've got to have a few more people step up and play worth a damn. So we had a lot of guys that played like dogs.
We can both be 0-80, and if those last two games were Spurs-Mavs, it's going to be like, you know, a playoff game because we dislike each other that much.
Would I take Tim Duncan out to dinner? Only if he paid.
Welcome to the Daily Dime. I'm Alex Loeb. Coming up in just a bit, we'll head out to Orlando for Game 2 between the Magic and the Bobcats. But first, one of the fiercest rivalries in the association continued on Wednesday night as the Mavs tried to take a commanding 2-0 series lead against a team Mark Cuban said he hates, a San Antonio squad that Dallas has had quite a storied history with. Dirk and the Mavs trying to grab a 2-0 series lead on Wednesday night, but Nowitzki would struggle early. Working on George Hill in the first quarter with the miss. We move on to the second. Nowitzki, after a couple of fakes, can't get it to fall. He was just 3 for 9 in the first half for 9 points. How about Richard Jefferson? Check out this sequence in the second half. His man is concerned with the pick and roll with Parker and Duncan and leaves RJ wide open for the tray. The Spurs up by 14. Later in the half, the Mavs more defensive issues. 3 men on Duncan, Jefferson open again, and San Antonio up by 12. But the Mavericks would rally in the second half. Down 14, Jason Kidd with the tray. It's an 11-point game. Moments later, how about Jason Terry? Jet from the wing with the triple makes it an 8-point game, and the Mavs trailed by 10 after 3. On to the fourth quarter, Mark Cuban wouldn't have much to celebrate. 33-year-old Tim Duncan still got it. 25 points and 17 boards, and the Spurs up 95-84 moments later. Duncan goes back to work with the jumper in the lane. San Antonio pulling away up by 13, and then Manu Ginobili would seal it with the tray as San Antonio evens the series with a 102-88 win.
We took care of the ball better tonight, and we didn't foul. You know, after last game, I'd mentioned that we'd given up 20 points on turnovers, and that we had fouled inordinately in that game, and we kept putting them on the line. And those two things we took care of for this evening.
We're chasing them all game long. Did a decent job actually fighting back a couple times. I think we didn't play together anymore. Everybody tried to carry it by themselves.
So the Spurs win is the 102nd in the postseason for Tim Duncan and Greg Popovich as a player-coach combination. And that's tied for third most behind Phil Jackson, who won 110 games with Scottie Pippen and 105 with Michael Jordan. Steven Jackson suiting up for Game 2 despite a hyperextended left knee onto the first quarter, and Matt Barnes, one of 5 Orlando players in double figures with 11 points. The Magic up by 6 early onto the second quarter. Michael Pietrus from downtown Orlando, 10 for 27 from beyond the arc. Onto the second half, D12, a quiet night with 15 points and 9 boards, but the Magic up 50-38, and we move on to the final quarter. Steven Jackson trying to keep the Cats in it. 27 points on the night, but it's still 83-69. Then with less than 3 to play, Charlotte within 8, but Vince Carter, 2 of his 19 points, makes it a 10-point game. And then with less than 2 minutes remaining, Jameer Nelson would seal it in transition. Nelson and 1 as Orlando grabs a 2-0 series lead with a 92-77 win.
In order to beat this team, we got to do 2 things, not turn the ball over and not allow them to get points in the paint. 3 things: get to the free throw line.
We had 3 players that played tonight that got to the foul line, and one of them took 1 shot, 1 free throw. can't play that way. Maybe we got to get more respect.
So the Magic head to Charlotte up 2-0 against the Bobcats, and history is on Orlando's side as they have won each of their previous 3 best-of-7 series, went up 2-0, most recently against the Raptors in 2008. Don't forget the NBA playoffs continue on ESPN and ESPN2 on Friday with 3 Game 3s. First at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN, the Celtics head to South Beach to take on Flash and the Heat. Then at 9:30 on ESPN, it's the Mavericks and Spurs. And finally at 10:30 Eastern on ESPN2, Carmelo and the Nuggets take on the Jazz. As for tonight, 3 games on tap, and all of them Game 3s as well. The Cavs and Bulls will meet up in Chicago with the James Gang up 2-0. The Lakers and Thunder hook up in OKC with the Lake Show ahead 2-0. And then at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, the Suns and Trailblazers get together at the Rose Garden with the series even at 1.
I was booed a lot. My whole life I've been booed. College, I was getting booed a lot. Boston, they don't like me over there. They don't like me over here either. It's okay. I have my friends. I don't care.
I don't know about this place, man.
I love Cleveland.
I just stayed in my hotel room, man. Every time I look out my window, it's pretty depressing out here, man.
I love Akron, too.
It's bad. It's bad. No going out in Cleveland, man. It's all factories.
I love Chicago. That's a great city.
You like it? You think Cleveland's cool?
I do. Y'all making it a joke, though.
I mean, I never heard anybody say I'm going to Cleveland on vacation.
I go on vacation in Chicago.
What's so good about Cleveland?
I think we all love Chicago.
We got to play them again, so I don't want to just be up here and, you know, just give LeBron all this credit. Yeah, he played an unbelievable game. LeBron's pretty good, you know, I mean, he's a pretty good player.
Time for the dunks of the night, and we begin in Orlando where Tyson Chandler was doing the dirty work down low.
Attack right there. Marcin Gortat came over to help. Chandler slid in behind it, a nice pass, and he got a dunk.
However, TC was outdone by Matt Barnes, who went airborne courtesy of Jameer Nelson.
Nobody sees him at all. No communication. Alley-oop dunk.
But the best of all on Wednesday night went to D12, who left no doubt in Orlando's commanding Game 2 win.
Electric right now, and they're electric because of that big fella with that power move dunk.
Time for tonight's stat sheet stuffer, and it goes to the grizzled veteran Tim Duncan, who led the Spurs for a second straight game with 25 points and 17 boards as he helped the Spurs even up their series with the Mavs. Duncan finished 11 of 19 from the field in 36 minutes as the big fundamental is our stat sheet stuffer of the night. Well, Oklahoma City may be on the verge of being eliminated while the Rockets didn't even make it to the postseason, but both squads did receive a bit of good news this week, as according to the Houston Chronicle, Aaron Brooks will be named the NBA's most improved player, while Scott Brooks has been named NBA Coach of the Year after the Thunder won 27 more games than they did a year ago. On that note, that'll do it for the Dime. We thank you for watching and hope you enjoyed the show. And time to leave you now with our Call of the Night.
Under 2 minutes remaining. Interesting in this kind of a feverish game that the Spurs have only 2 team fouls. And Manu Ginobili hits a big 3 for the Spurs. And you never see this kind of a reaction and emotion from Manu Ginobili, who hits his 4th three-point basket of the game. And San Antonio is up by 12.